on mute. I'm having a whole conversation with you on mute. Thank you, Ken. So I'm going to start this all over again. Good morning, everyone, and I hope that you're having a great Monday. I hope that you had an amazing weekend. And we are going to kick this Monday off as we always and usually do. Good morning, Benji. Dre will be joining us shortly once he gets baby girl to school. I appreciate you, Ken. And look, Ken, you know I normally ask for a sound check, but yeah, I was having a whole conversation on mute. It's been a week. It has been a night. So as you can see what the topic is, we're going to do a Tinley recap. For those of you who were in attendance in Tinley, please put your recap notes if you would like to discuss in the chat as well. I know for me and Dre, there are always several recaps and several things to reflect on that's really amazing. I can start with, as I had shared with many of you guys, that this was going to be a Tinley trip where I actually had committed to volunteering for US ARC. And that was a big highlight for me. In the entire Saturday, I just committed myself to US ARC. Except for the 1 hour that I, did the live for you guys. So that was amazing. Working alongside Phil and working a lot alongside Vanessa, who is a riot, was just so much fun. And, guys, you know how I'm passionate about US Art. And we always talk about what we can do. I'm always going to be a member, always going to donate. Every time that I make a purchase from a vendor that allows you to round up to them or make a separate donation to US Art, I do that. But there was nothing more fulfilling than actually physically volunteer the entire time on Saturday. So I want to shout out to US Art. I want to shout out to some of the amazing kids I met working the US ARC booth and their parents. It was enlightening. That experience showed me that there are parents who are literally making US ARC the front of reptile ownership for their animals. They are having those conversations, teaching their children the importance to become members. And that to me was definitely a different view from behind the US ARC desk. And so I really enjoyed that. That was a highlight for me. I think I got excited, overly excited, sometimes a little bit bubbly in the eyes, working with and meeting these children who were coming up to make sure they bought their 2 or 3 t-shirts, their wristbands to take back to school. Was one kid who actually says he does a US ARC presentation in school. So I thought that was absolutely amazing as well. Hey, Emily. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Wayne and Alice. Good morning. How are you guys? All right. So guys, share this out. Remember at 8:15, we will do our brief prayer for Brian Barcyck, which I must say that the US ARC auction and what Brian Potter did for Brian Barcyck was moving. It was one of my favorite parts of the trip as well. So we're going to continue to lift him up in prayer. I know that he had did a video that morning, but like I said, we were running around and we were busy. And I didn't get a chance to watch the video. So for me, of course, we all knew that, he was dealing with cancer, but at the auction was the first time that I heard that the doctor's diagnosis and that his life expectancy is only a year to 18 months. And if anybody knows or ever heard that time with pancreatic cancer, it's normally, difficult for that person to, if they're in that stage to really push through for those months. So we want to keep lifting him up in prayer. I'm still going to be praying that, I am a witness to doctors saying what cannot happen and that it happens. I'll share a personal story. Cancer has been always a part of my family, but moving away from cancer, just talk about miracles. I have 2 children, 2 biological children. And the oldest child, my daughter, when I was pregnant with her, I could not eat or drink anything. And when I tell you eat or drink anything, I literally was on IV the entire time I was pregnant with her. In and out the hospital, IV at home. That's the only way I can really feed myself. Couldn't even keep water down. So around 5 months pregnant, the doctor, good morning, Emily. Yes, Emily, definitely such a humbling experience. Yep. And it's so funny, like, not even realizing that Emily watched the show, and we're, working together. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, so to the story, I guess I was about 5 months pregnant when the doctor came in and said to me and my mom that they needed to abort my daughter. They suggested that I abort my daughter, or I wouldn't make it, because my daughter was feeding off the calcium off my bones and taking all the nutrition from me. I lost 44 pounds pregnant. And I remember the doctor saying that to me, and he explaining to me that you would have to give birth to the child, and most likely the baby will come out stillborn, or if it comes out non-stillborn, you might hear a cry and then it go away. I looked at that doctor and I said, that would kill me worse to abort my daughter and go on with life. So let's just go ahead and take the chance, right? So I went on with my pregnancy. My daughter was born with no complications to her. I did have some complications that I still suffer from, and some complications I had to work through, but she was fine, and we're both here. So I know that doctors sometimes just take the information that they have and they make a decision or diagnosis based on what they believe medically, and and what medical history tells them. But I also believe that there's a history that's greater than medical, and that's the history of our Almighty, and you can overcome even the odds of things that they say that you can't. Good morning, Elias. I want to give a quick shout out to Mike at Herb Collectors, who definitely was at Tinley. I don't care what the haters say. So shout out to Mike. Definitely enjoyed that, Mike. So to make sure I'm not, okay, it's 8:13, so we get 2 more minutes before we go into prayer, then we'll get into our normal shenanigans. I will say that also, oh my God, let me just talk about the airlines, y'all. So y'all know I didn't want to fly. It's a lot going on in FAA, and a lot that's going on within our different airlines. So I really did not want to fly myself, to be honest. And but my husband wasn't feeling good, so we had made a last minute decision to fly, and so we flew. So we were supposed to be back home flight supposed to have left at 4:30 last night, and we should have been back here in Maryland 7:30 our time, around should be home by 7:30 our time. Well, that didn't happen. Our flight did not leave. It was canceled. It was postponed 4 times. And I don't know how many times they changed our gate. So we are in O'Hare. So we are walking from one side of the airport to the other. So at some point I was just about to blow, but thank God that we finally was able to board our flight at about 9:30, but we got home very late. So I'm glad I woke up this morning on time. I've had a moment of silence and sending good vibes Brian's way on my show. Thank you, Ken. Yeah, well, we all know that it's important that it's in numbers, and guys, I heard a compliment or I heard a conversation about prayer. So let me just remind you, prayer is personal. Prayer is very, very important to come in numbers. We hear that all the time. Prayer does not have to be a prayer for someone that you hang out with or know personally. In fact, if you think that way, I question how much you do believe in the power of prayer. So I will say to pray. Say his name. Say his name like you do hang out with him every single day. All right, because for many of us, we do in one way, shape, or another. For many of you, you do in one shape, form, or another. I know for me, at last October, Tinley, to get the chance to have a conversation with him, hug him, have very good, give him good feedback about what he has done. It's impressionable upon me, myself. And to grow up as a woman, 49 years old, Brian Barcyck was a big part of my life growing up, and how I view ball pythons very specifically. He was in a lot of the things that I read and learned. He was a big part of that history. And of course, as we talked about before on the show, Lori. So yeah, absolutely. Praise the Lord. Way to trust you, guy. Yep. Way to trust. Good morning, Nizzy. Good morning, KT. How are you? This is why I'm driving. These airlines just do whatever they want at this point, right? So, but I can tell you this. That will be our next crash. The airlines will be our next crash if we do not improve the services within the airlines. It's just ridiculous. And to see like some of the older people go through what we had to go through, to see the airline stewardess. There was an airline stewardess flew back from Japan, y'all. She was ready to go home and could not get a flight out. Not even just on that airline. They even, she couldn't get a flight at the airport from another airline. So that tells you that if you have all these airlines having the same amount of cancellations, forget what they tell y'all about maintenance. That's what I told somebody, the other day. Stop saying that. Just keep it real. Y'all short staffed just like everybody else. You know what I mean? You are having issues with pilots showing up. We all know this stuff. Find a way to be honest about it and work together in the airlines to make it better for people who are traveling. Because what I can tell you this is we're paying more money now than we ever had to fly. So that is definitely an issue for us. Good morning, Wiz. Good morning, bro. It was great to see him and the wifey and the son, who actually y'all quit smiling this time. We definitely had a blast. Oh my goodness. The video of Pat, well, so I have a voice, I have the music playing. But when Pat walked in and Pat was talking, turn up, talking junk, and he goes, where is that? And it Wish, that whole united and that hug. It was so funny how Wish just appeared. And Pat was just so excited to see him. And it was just such love. So yeah, that was definitely good. The Tinley turn up is always a highlight for sure. Good morning, Spicy. All right, guys. So it is definitely 8:15. We're gonna go. It's a little past 8:15. So let's take us pause for the cause. Get our prayer and for Brian. If everybody who believe in prayer, like I always say, you don't have to pray to who I'm praying to. Bow your head. I'm asking that you join us in unison. Just know that we're praying to a higher power, and you guys are praying to a higher power as well. So we're gonna bow heads. Father God, it is Monday, and as promised, we're coming to you again today in unison in prayer for Brian Barcyck and his family. God, we understand that he's received, another level of news that may not be favorable to the human ear in earthly settings. But God, we know that your power of prayer, faith, and your ability to heal is beyond what the world can understand. And it is definitely majestic and mystical. And we ask that you just lift us up as we lift him up, God. Lift up his friends, Lord Jesus. Lift up the people who are close to him, not just in his household, but outside his household, who is taking this burden on hearing this news and having to help them, Lord, lift their friends up, because it's hard for them as well, because they have to hold on to faith to communicate with him. I will say, God, that one of the things that Brian has in his corner that a lot of people don't have, and it is definitely an army around him to help him through this, guide him through this, help him make some decisions, life coaching decisions, to plan for the worst, but believe in the best. We ask that you do this in all things. In your name we pray. God, we know that you are the Father. We know that you are the healer. We know that you are our protector and our guider. We also know that we were all born to take a passage through life to get back to you. And we just going to ask God, whatever decision that you make with Brian's life, that you let the rest of his earthly life be just the way that he wanted to be. And Lord, if his prayer is to heal him still, regardless. God, I ask that you continue to put that healing power on him, God. Show the world your miracle. Show the world how you have done so many times, done the exceptional delivery for human life. We ask that you do this, Lord, for him. We ask that, Lord, for all the people on earth right now who are also battling bad health news, cancer, HIV, lupus, multiple sclerosis, whatever it may be, God, that you touch them, that you give them strength today, Lord, that you touch their mind in a mighty, mighty way to let them know that depression shall not set in, that the way that they will be victorious is to fight through this, Lord, in a great spirit. And I ask that you do this in all things in Jesus' name. We pray. Amen. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining in. And let's get to the Tinley turn up. So, first of all, I don't know if you guys watch Hair Down Friday, but I was dying laughing at Pat. When Pat came on Hair Down Friday, and he was telling you guys that it was financially the reason why that you don't come to Tinley. We start saving up now so you can make October's, because it's important, guys. I think that everybody gets to experience it at least once a year. And I know there's other NARBCs. I choose Tinley based on our feedback as well. I think you can get other, travel atmospheres, but Tinley seems to be that one where everybody comes in together in that one place. That's where you're going to see the most people. That's where you're going to most people actually turn out for. And then for me, Tinley is where we have what we call the Tinley turn up with the usual suspects, where on Friday night after we do the VIP tour, going around saying hi to everybody before it gets busy and packed, and buying the animals that we may want or whatever we may want. Prior to that, we head over to Derek's, over to Big D's Python's house, and we enjoy food, laughter, festivities, everything. It's a wonderful time at Big D's, and it's wonderful that every year new people come and hang out, and it's just amazing. So shout out to Derek and his wife Joe for number one, doing what I could never do, is open my doors to people like that. I always find it amazing when people just let people just like come in, we would never be like that. And it's always cool to be other places where people are, but I'm still like the whole time, like just looking and just kind of just making sure that everything is going great for my brother at the house. So, Derek has some amazing animals and things like that. And you just want to make sure that you're being cautious whenever you open your doors. But it's definitely a wonderful time there. I'm glad that he does, that for us and for anyone who actually wants to take part. So that's just love on them. And it's a sacrifice for them, because Derek doesn't get to enjoy the early festivities as much because he's preparing for everybody to come to the house. For me, so we went to go take a nap. We said we was going to take a nap, and I woke up thinking I missed the entire thing. And I'm like, but then I go to Hair Down and I see that we're still going. So we actually ended up leaving the hotel room a little bit after 8, getting to Derek's around 9, and it was popping. So shout out to Derek and Joe. Good morning, Ray Blade. Ray, who always holding down Hair Down. But the next time, October Tinley, he better be holding down Hair Down from Tinley Park. Shout out to the bro, Ray. What else? Oh, so I would say another highlight for me was this, y'all. So I don't know if you guys saw on my post, but okay. So if you watch my videos with Kevin, I talk about 2 books. I talk about that he has books out of print. And this was a couple years, 3 years ago? So 2 years ago. So you have books out of print, and I also want him to write a reticulated python book, which I don't think that's ever going to happen, Kevin, but I got him. So I know that I already talked to Chip Endo, and Chip Endo is, if I never shared this, I am actually writing a book, not a complete book on reticulated python, because I will not sit here and tell you that I know enough about them to write an entire book, a complete book. And what I mean by complete book is enough about the history on every genetic and things like that. But I am writing a book on the husbandry of reticulated pythons, how to take care of them to make them well-managed animals and great pets. So I am going to be finishing up that book like pretty soon. I would say in the next 3 months, as far as finishing up, as far as making sure that it's written the way that I want it written, that it's going through editing, that it's going through publishing and getting it out there to people so that they can have. I found that when I got into it, it wasn't a lot out there that showed what I wanted to know, about the animals. I wasn't interested in how wrong or horrible they could be. I was interested in people who was doing it right. And I had to seek personal people from other groups or Facebook posts and things that I saw that was doing right and forge relationships with them to get that information. And even now, like even going through the breeding stuff, that stuff is pretty much the stuff I had to look at and document through the process. So that's why I documented that in videos on the channel and things like that. But so if anybody knows volume 1 of this book, The Ultimate Ball Python, Comprehensive Guide to Care, Breeding, and Genetic Mutations by Kevin McCurley. Kevin has did a volume 2. I was able to get one of the very first copies through the auction at USR. Now, y'all know this book would be priceless to me. I just don't think, I actually text Kevin and say, guess who won the book at the auction? And he said, girl, how much you paid for it? And I told him, he said the number he thought I paid for it. And it was only $25 less. I said, yep, and he cracked up. So I got it, y'all. I started reading it on the plane. It's already good. It starts off with stories from Matt Lehrer, Rafael Martinez, Michael Wilbines talks about how, their first interactions with Kevin. To hear Matt talk about when he first met Kevin, coming off a plane and pretty much telling him, look, go find me these weird ball pythons with these, these clean bellies, these funny dots on their heads, different scales and all this different type of stuff. But he pretty much talked about how it evolved to Kevin creating some of the very first, world's first ball pythons. And his take on Kevin and how he realized that, the man wasn't crazy. He was really a genius. But it's funny. Reading the book, I'm loving it because having the luxury to have like really personal conversations with him, you can hear. And if you watch any of Kevin's videos over and over again, you can hear the book is definitely Kevin. Some of this stuff is hysterical, even as it's worded. But when I tell you guys, it goes so deep into, it even has a section in here from Ozzy on how the orange ring was created and how it evolved and mutated. It's dope, y'all. So I cannot wait to read this entire book. Bosa said, make me a copy of it. Bosa, it's this thick. So, of course, my plan is to get this book directly to Kevin so he can sign it. There is Brian Barcyck in this book. So this book is valuable today, but because of this, Brian Barcyck, Michael Wilbanks, all these people in here, Ozzy, Matt, the stories of, even Ralph Davis, like all of this in here. And then, of course, you cannot, it goes such in detail on each genetic, how he created it, if he didn't create it, just, whoever created, how they was able to identify it, how the pairings, how you can say the lineage created the different genetics. Y'all, it's so crazy. It's insane. So this was a big auction win for me, and this was definitely a highlight. So I was so excited. I think Phil could see how excited I was when the bid stopped. He looked at me like, Nicole, you might have this. And then when he said $475, going once, going twice, and go, Nicole. So I was really excited about it. So I will be getting through this book, and of course, guys, after I get through it, I will be sharing with my usual suspects first. But we will have to protect this book like a whole human life, because it's crazy. I never ever could get another copy of the first one, and I could not find out who or remember who I shared that very first one with. And I will always say to Kevin, you got to print more, you got to print more. I think me and Justin was just talking about this, the original being out of print, and to have a volume 2 and to see just like some of the new stuff that he added into it, y'all, it's insane. So that was a highlight. I also was able to win the PS5 at the auction, and I paid no more than I would have paid in the store, although you can never find them. But I won the PS5, and my husband, let me tell you about him. So we at the auction, they auctioned it off. I'm not even paying attention what they auction, because if they say something that I want, I'm looking. So I'm not bidding on that, right? Just waiting. So it's an extra. Before we left here, y'all, I had moved so many animals around, and I pulled all the old exoterras out the sheds, and I had made all these tanks that I had planned to sell on Facebook Marketplace when we come back. So my husband waved his hand. Y'all remember the episode of Martin when they was at the auction and Cole just kept waving his hand? So my husband is raising his hand because his goal was to try to raise the price up on the item. It was an exoterra, y'all, one of the large exoterras. So he had no intent on wanting this. We don't need an exoterra. So he's waving. It gets to 150, and he 175, because he's trying to make somebody else pay for the exoterra more money to raise more money for USR. I can't make this up. And I'm looking at him like, do you realize what you're bidding on? And then at that point, he wins it. He said, no, what is it? I said, the same thing we got at home that I literally pulled all out so I can put them on Facebook Marketplace. We don't need this. You could have waited for something that we could have actually used. But he didn't care. So he got it. So we gave it to Kevin for 4 S Pythons, because he actually drove his truck down there. So he's going to bring it back and donate it to a family member who could use it. So it worked out. So shout out to hubby for making sure USR get the best premium on the auction by just waving his hands to get it up. Hey, Kurtwood. It was so good to see Kurtwood. I got to see him while I was at the USR booth, but he stopped by with Thomas. I got to see Thomas a couple times, and Thomas from Low Life, so I was really pumped. Who was so cool to meet. Good morning, Uniquely Mutated Morphs. Good morning, Cara Shay. Thank you, Ken. And listening, but was crimping the kiddo's hair for picture day. Oh. Good morning, everyone. So I will tell you another highlight for me, and it's always a highlight, is the after the auction party. So that's pretty much everybody leaves the auction and goes to the hotel bar, and you get to just see people because the auction is so big, and especially this time, this is the first time that I didn't get a chance to see a lot of people because I was just having so much fun doing the USR thing, collecting all of the vendor donations, which seeing what the vendors donate, y'all, is just like, you come in and collect a donation, is like, okay, here's my OD yellow belly Lay's Desert Ghost Clown for $7,000. We're gonna go ahead and put that in the auction. So it was just really cool to see what the vendors donate, and how some of them really like sacrifice some of their premium animals to the auction. So that was really, really amazing to see how willing they are to do that, and eager. Like when you come around with a card, they already know what you're there for and they're prepared. That was really, really cool. Kurtwood said, I'm taking my vacation October. I'm not missing the next turn up. That's right, Kurtwood. We definitely missed you at Big D's house because Kurtwood was there at my very first Tinley turn up. So, we like to try to see those people every year. Hey, Jeremy. So the vendors, I thought it was a lot of good prices, great animals. It was packed. March Tinley was packed like an October Tinley for sure. Or let's just say it went back to March pre-COVID times, I guess, because it was packed. But the animals were amazing. Guys, I'm at Pump. My Will Banks incubator comes today. So I told my husband I was so excited to come back home because he has like 4 guns to pick up today. I had purchased one before we left, so I get to go pick up my new gun. And then we have the Will Banks incubator coming and the new ARS rack coming soon this week as well. So, but today is going to be a really busy day. I'm really excited about the Will Banks incubator. I got to see them, all of them, up front and personal. Today, I think we got the one that is not the real big one. The one that's right below the real big one is the one we got. And we want to compare it to the sea serpents because the sea serpents is where I put all of the retic eggs and a couple of the ball python eggs that will hatch over the next week or so. I will put them in there as well, but I will need to start on one of the second incubators. So I'm going to just go ahead and not use the other sea serpent and put the next group of eggs in the Will Banks just to see how it works. And I'll share a review on it later on down the line after we get through a whole incubation cycle. I will definitely share the setup, but as far as compared to the sea serpents, I will do a review down the line with that. I can tell you that I was talking to KG, and one of the things that he was telling me that he also experienced is that for me, it is hard to calibrate the sea serpent. You can have the thermostat set at 88, for example, and it's the probe and the thermostat are reading equal 88. Because it was my first clutch, I went crazy. I had the sensor push inside the boxes. I also put a regular thermometer with a hydrometer on inside the box and one on the outside because I wanted to see what all of the different readings would be. It is so hard in the sea serpent, and the one that I have the eggs in now, is the 48-inch sea serpent, to get the egg boxes in different positions within 1 degree of each other. Like, I will tell you that one even spiked up to like 91 inside the box. And then the other one would still be sitting at like 85, 86. So it was a lot of moving this and moving that, changing this. And, the fans are going and all of that. So I, putting water bottles in. Like, there's different things to see how to get there. And it was difficult. We finally got to a point, I think it was like 2 weeks. And the thing is that that incubator was going for like 30, no, more than that. I would say about 45 to 60 days before the clutch even came. We cranked the incubator up. So for me, you would think the calibration should have been more on point. It seems like you really, when you put the egg boxes in there, what the inside temperature was, you really, really had, it was a big difference, like 4 to 5 degrees, and it should only be like a 1 degree. I was watching Kevin's video on the Will Banks, and he said that's definitely only if there was any calibration variance at all. It was definitely less than a degree. So I'm looking forward to see how that compares. Jeremy said, good morning, everybody tuning in while waiting on my equipment to arrive. What's arriving, Jeremy? What's arriving? Did I miss it? That's the goal. October turn up. Yes, Ray. Yes, Ray. Let's see. I agree with Ray. That's the goal. All right, so let's see what Jeremy said. Well, equipment just arrived. LOL, gotta run. A great day. Dang it, we didn't hear what the equipment was. Now I gotta find out. Whoever is coming October, let me know if there's anything I can do to help your visit more better. I'm local, as many of y'all know. Thank you, Kurtwood. So y'all, arranged with Kurtwood. Wayne and Alice, I would love that book. So glad he's doing another print. Me too, me too, me too, me too. I cannot. Like, I'm just so addicted to reading it. And it's just so, like I said, so funny reading it in his voice. So yeah, it was cool to show him that, you know, I won it. And who else should have won that book, right? Good morning, everyone. Had to drop off the little one at school, head home to log in. That's straight. Which this fool, so I'm going through, I'm at the airport, making sure I post all the remaining pictures. And it's like 7 fucking selfies in my phone. I'm like, why is it selfies of this fool in my phone? I don't even know when he did that. But yeah, so of course Dre always chill with me and hubby at the bar. So we were having a good time there. Oh my God. So the music changes. We hear Tupac come on. And I look up and MJ crip walking, y'all, was a highlight. MJ was crip walking his butt off. MJ was. That was funny. That was so cool. Love to see people just kind of just like relax and like enjoy themselves. I know I do. I have the smaller version of his book and I love it. I bet the ultimate is beyond amazing. Yes. So the first ultimate was amazing, but this one, I could not believe how he got some like cool stuff in here from other people. That kind of like they're giving their take on how certain things evolved with Kevin or relationships or projects and, you know, or feedback, you know, it's just really cool. It's really cool. Can't wait to get through it. Thank you, KT. I'm 10 subs away from 500. I'm giving away 2 snakes when I hit 500. I appreciate any new sub and good luck to all who enter to win. All right. So Ken dropped his link there. If you guys want to definitely just click the link. Good morning, John. How are you? So, speaking of, and John, don't kill me. When you were messaging me, I was traveling. I am going to be on John's show tonight. John, can you just drop the link if you can in the chat to the show? I believe it's at 8, right, John? 8 my time. I'll be there. I'm just saying. Let's look. Yep, 8 p.m. my time, 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you guys definitely can tune into that would be dope. Dre, it ain't funny. Let's see. Good morning, Antoine. So this was a non-highlight of my trip was we didn't get a chance to see Antoine, which is always a good highlight of the Tinley turn up. But I held you down at the auction this year. I played Antoine at the auction this year. And they also, we was also blessed to, we got our, me and my husband, we got our bracelets from Will Banks on Friday night. So Mike Will Banks was selling these bracelets, and it says Brian's Army here. And then this one says stand strong, be strong. And it got, of course, a little cancer ribbon on it. My husband said something different, but really cool bracelet. So if you didn't get one, please make sure that you reach out to Mike Wilbanks to get one. The bracelets were $10 a piece, and all proceeds go directly to Brian Barcyck's family. Because at the end of the day, if Brian doesn't make it, you know, they still have to go on without him, and he's a big part. So, good morning, Dre.
Good morning. Good morning.
Let's see. Hey, Silver Cash. So yeah, pretty cool bracelet. And also, if you guys haven't, Kevin McCurley also has a private, public-private Facebook page for Brian. Pretty much it's there for people to go on there just to send him a daily message. When Brian is reading these things, guys, to keep him motivated. So if you haven't, you can send a request to join the group and add it to that group. That's good as well. Just trying to just overwhelm him with all the support. We're having a dance off. Who's having a dance off?
Me and you. We talked about it at the bar.
You wasn't the one.
We need to schedule that.
So the funny thing was when you talk about, like Michael talking about, I just don't even want to see it.
Hey, listen.
But you know what? Coming back from the airport, my husband ain't shit. He played it like 5 times for me.
Hey, it was a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah, I will kill. I will murk Dre in a dance off.
So she think.
Okay. All
right. She was trying to stop me from getting on top of the bar because she didn't want me to show out. I was about to get up there.
Good. We wasn't happy because I was gonna act straight like we didn't know you if you got on the bar. I was gonna get real. My bougie Gemini was gonna kick you right up and be like,
man, I was about to tear it up too.
And wait a minute, my highlight was the waitress hunting Dre down like he was gonna leave the bar.
Oh my God.
She's like, "Can you pay now? Because you keep moving. Like he can't move."
She was like, "I didn't know if you was gonna skip out or not." I was like, if I was gonna skip out, I wouldn't have came back.
Around here, like you can't. They can't move. So I told Dre, you should cuss her out. I was like, she deserved it. You should have, but he didn't. He was nice.
That was the liquor. That's all that was. I wasn't focused on no negativity. I was trying to have.
I was like, she deserved it if you did. The real question is, did Nicole leave with a snake? Because no, I did not.
Man, look.
I held a babysitter retake, a beautiful one. But
it was nice. It was nice, but shout out to Nicole holding it down for USARC up there. I mean, they had her busy.
Wait, hold on. Let me tell you all about Dre, no smart ass. First of all, shout out to USARC. So let me just tell you, as a USARC volunteer, they treat you like, put it this way, Mike Wilbanks was behind me, right, Dre?
Right.
So Dre said, I'm gonna go back here. He said, all right, y'all, I'm going back here with, you know, the regular old black people. I said, you know what?
Hey, look, I came up there to talk to Nicole. They was looking at me. I was like, all right, go ahead to the back. But nah, Nicole was holding it down, doing her thing. And she was all over the place, and it was dope to see one of our own doing that. You know what I'm saying? She sat at the front, right in front of the stage. So I went up there. I was like, oh, you made it. But it was dope. It was cool. It was a lot of fun. Like, Tinley is one of those shows where if you don't make it, then you really are missing out. That's really the show that I just meet a lot of people. I get to hang out. I got some of my favorite people. I think Mike's Monitors is probably my favorite table to go to.
So that's my first person I go to.
Yeah.
We come, and the last person I go to before we leave.
Yeah, Mike's Monitors, Babu is cool. Just running into people that I talk to on the internet it's a good time.
I told Bob, I said, I see your ass ain't out here with shorts now. It was cold, bro. Let me tell you.
It was cold.
First of all, let me just let y'all know, I don't think I will ever return to Chicago at those temperatures. I don't care if I have a flight ticket. I think I might have to cancel it. But when you're on the plane, I looked at my husband. I said, when the whole sea is frozen, like I'm not talking about a pond. The water is frozen. I said, oh, it's cold here. Get off that plane, y'all. But like bone chilling. I wanted to run back on the plane and say, run me back to Maryland. This is too cold.
Speaking of planes, let me tell you about these fools yesterday. So we get to the show for the last day. I'm getting some last minute vlogs.
Oh.
So I'm talking to Nicole, her husband, you know what I'm saying? We conversing of sorts. And she was like, yeah, we just wanted to come say our goodbye before we get on the plane. And I'm like, why the hell are y'all looking at pocket knives? I'm about to get on the plane. And they both look up and was like, what you mean? Like, I'm the not normal one because they want to take a weapon on a plane. And it was like, oh, no, we just can bury it in there. And these fools bought pocket knives. I was like, that's got to be the blackest thing I've ever heard.
I mean, wait a minute. We checked them. So I want that meant, so first of all, the one that I wanted was gone. And the girl who got it ended up coming up. She was laughing. So I said, it was 3 knives that I wanted to get. And I saw them when we was collecting the donations. So I didn't have time to like stop and buy them. So I said, I'm going to come back first thing in the morning and get these 3 knives. They all were pink and one was purple. One of them was a knife shaped just like a 380. It was nice. Come back, gone. And I'm like, dang, it was a pink and a purple. They only left the gold one. And the man was like, yeah, it went yesterday. And the girl walked up and she said, I got it. It was a little Asian girl. She was like, I got it. I got it yesterday. So she had bought like 5 knives, and that was one of them. That's what I really wanted. But the ones that I got, I like too. I like too.
I don't,
good price.
I don't know what y'all preparing for over there, but I don't want no parts.
Look, we live in Maryland and our grandkids live in Baltimore. So whenever we go to Baltimore, we got to be prepared for whatever.
I see. They got. I heard you say Slim got 4 new guns. You got 1. They got tasers, and stun guns, pocket knives, shanks, shivs. They got everything. I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It's Fort Knox. Like,
yes, that man has some nice knives though, y'all. And then too, like, they're good for like fishing and stuff like that too. King Reptiles. One day we will get to Tinley. Not one day, October, King Reptiles. October, we'll get to Tinley. Hey, Stone Age. He said, y'all are up early. We are up this early, Stone Age, 8 o'clock every Monday.
When you get to Tinley, you get to do stuff like this, like take pictures of Nicole's phone.
I'm so disgusted with you. I'm going through my pictures, and I'm like, because at first you couldn't even. I was like, who is this? I deployed it. Trey got 7 pictures. He like,
and it's funny.
You know, so that I actually posted that picture. I think.
Yeah, that's your Instagram. What's funny is I took these pictures right in front of her. She was at the U.S. Ark table. I was supposed to be helping her with her little camera. Is Lindsay in here? I got to hang out with her yesterday. She was super cool.
Yes, it was good seeing Lindsay.
Trying to help her pick out her ball python. So we was hanging out.
Hey, Linz.
But man, it was a good time. Definitely like I gotta go. I can't wait to go back for October. I talked to Jeremy yesterday on my way home. I called him and he said he's gonna be there in October. So
Jeremy wasn't there. That's why did he have a show? Because he's
he been touring, but he said October. He said October is gonna be the one that he going to. So it was fun. Definitely had
too. Yep, I'll see you tonight. So again, I'll be on John's in Caroline show. I'll be well rested by then. I'm gonna need a nap.
I need one now. I got back late. I took today off.
So I told you, well, you saw our flight was delayed like 4 times. We didn't fly out until
no, I didn't see that.
Yes, we didn't get home.
What time did y'all get home? Dang, yeah, I got home around.
Check all the animals because of course, Michael was here, but I wanted to see if the girls who were gravid laid. I wanted to, just check to make sure everybody just, look like they look when I left.
I got home around 12.
I'm so happy to see you, Kaju and Mrs.
Yeah, it was good to see you. Good to see you. It was packed for March. It was definitely packed for March.
Kaju is so pretty, y'all.
You childish.
He is so pretty. Dre, Emilio, Kaju, Alice. Hey, Tim.
Yo. Shout out to my guy Justin Pipeline for the shirt.
Yes.
Man.
I'm rocking Mike from First Collectors, who was there. He was there.
Right.
To say.
I was even gonna say it's old, you know what I'm saying? Justin was mad at you. Justin was mad at you yesterday.
Who?
Justin.
What I do?
He said he messaged you like,
no, so he messaged me. I was already gone. I didn't know he meant that I thought he was just asking because he was going to
that's what I told him. He said,
I was already gone.
Put 2 and 2 together. He said, man, I brought these freaking shirts.
I did not know.
I was like, just ship them. He was like, you know how much it costs to ship a shirt? He said, do you know how much it costs to ship a shirt?
Good morning, bro.
He was upset. Oh man, it was funny though.
He said, "Fucking time change." Yes. It almost got me.
They was up there chilling, man. It was a good time. Good time.
I'm
trying to think of what else.
Ryan says his hotel is already booked for Tinley and Animal Pond.
I owe my man Mike some grills. He wants some of my gold grills. I owe him some grills. Everybody was like, "Those are nice." I was like, "Man, I appreciate it." And then they adopted me. The Stefani's adopted me, so that was big. That was huge.
I've been a Stefani, Nicole
Stefani.
Yeah. Stefani. See, I know how to say my last name too. If I was going to die and come back into any family, it would be a Stefani.
When you go to Tinley, there's some stuff in there y'all can't see. When you go to Tinley, you got to make sure you go check out Mike. Mike is probably the coolest dude in the entire show. Gotta go check out Mike.
It's Emilio's birthday. What? Y'all ain't tell me.
Happy birthday.
Feliz cumpleaños, right? That's how you say it. Feliz cumpleaños. Emilio.
I hope you're not asking me.
You should know at least that. Like, that's basic Spanish.
I speak French. I don't speak Spanish. That's why they think I'm from Africa now.
Turn up, Emilio. Turn up. All right, what's another highlight? Oh, so I shared my auction. Wait a minute, Dre. Did you see the picture? So I remember, if y'all don't remember last year, Dre talking about me at the auction. Well, this year, the picture that Vanessa posted, me and Slim are just like this. It's so funny. I said that. Dre said that's how we be, but no, it was fun. It was definitely fun. And then we also got the opportunity to donate personally to Brian. They did a separate, so US Art collected almost $102,000 from the auction for just US Art. They also collected about $56,000, and I don't know if that got even higher for Brian Barcyck alone at the auction, which was pretty dope. His son Noah was there, and of course Jalen was there with Noah. I think for me that was very emotional. I lost I literally cried my contact out. I'm sitting here, and the girl sitting next to me said, I think it was Emily. She was like, "Is that your contact in your finger?" I'm like, "Yes."
It was. It was. The whole room felt it, and then so I'm like 5 feet away from Nicole. I'm standing up, and then Slim got up. So I went over there to ask her a question, and she turned around. Boy, it looked like she smoked the best set of. Her eyes was bloodshot red, and I was like, damn.
I was done.
I was like, "You okay?" She was like, "This is too much." I was like, it's a lot. It was sad though. Like, because they called him and he talked, and it was
so Brian Potter called Brian Barcyck to tell Brian. First of all, he took his phone and let Brian see everybody in the room, and everybody just standing and everything. Now, mind you, even at that point, I didn't even know Noah was in the room. I didn't know Noah was there until he came up on the stage. So Brian, who is very close, of course, to Brian, is breaking down. Brian Potter, who normally doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, if you don't know Brian Potter,
from this side of the spectrum to this side of the spectrum, and he took us all with him. And it was very emotional. But Brian, just his resilience, just thanking everybody. You can hear it. You can hear it in his voice. That this is definitely challenging for him. But for that room to collect $56,000 and to see the support from his fellow, like the Michael Wilbanks of the world, the Bob Boos, the Kevin McCurleys, the Brian Potters, the Phil Gosses, all the people that, love Brian, just make things happen. His family is going to be okay one way or the other. I truly believe that. And I just pray, and I'll make sure I verbalize this in our next prayer, that all of his plans for the Reptarium goes on regardless. regardless. I want to make sure that, you know, if they can, that we continue to support to make that dream come true for him. Just woke up. Like it's 7:45. I'm going to be one of the first in the chat. You late. Feels good to sleep in a little, enjoy it. Yeah, that's definitely fact, especially Keys. Keys get up seem like before any of us. The God in the building. Thank you. My wife was so heat to meet you in person, Lady Taste. I know. I was like, yay. There were so many people I really, really enjoyed meeting.
It was a lot of people. We had fun. What's up?
You have to remind me tomorrow morning when I go to the post office to send your shirt because I left with it again. Because again, I gave out all the shirts. So y'all gotta come to Big D House. That's where the shirts get distributed. And after that point, I move on to the next level of Tinley. I forget about that. So I'll definitely have to ship you yours out for sure. I still call, but I'm listening on.
Hey, them two had me cracking up at the auction because he had walked to the other side of the room. And she was like, "Oh, he just left me over here." She said, "It's okay. I know to look for the bucket hat."
She wanted him. So let me. She wanted him. So she wanted him to come sit down. So she called him all the way over there for him to sit down, and he didn't sit down.
It was. She said, "I know to look for the bucket hat," and then she was like, "Hold on, wait, Dre. The bucket hat's on the move." So when you told me I could come sit down next to you, I was like, "Nah, I'm good." So I told her, I was like, "Cole said she got an open seat. You can go sit down." But man,
I'm trying to get y'all attention. I'm waving like this. So I told Slim, but Slim goes back there. He get Pat pulls him. He forgets to tell him because he would Pat. I'm like, Lord Jesus. Can we get some function?
Well, because I was getting ready to go to the bar anyway. Because that was about to. And then by the time these fools got to the bar, I'm like 4 beers in.
Speaking of Pat. Pat knows how to make an entrance. I swear, I laughed so hard when Pat showed up at Derek's house. Definitely knows how to make it. All you heard was stir it up.
It's no matter where you at in Tinley, though. No matter where you at in Tinley, though, it's gonna be a good time for sure.
That was a typo. Listen to them say your name. I would have to. Oops, hold on. I would have to walk out. I watched the live and was crying at home watching the video, Alice. Yeah, first of all, but the thing is, Alice, it's hard to walk out at that point because it's packed. Like it's really, really, really packed. The live
really
auction is going on around you. The silent auction is going on. There's tables and chairs packed. People standing room crowd only.
People standing, people sitting, people in the aisles, and it's a big room. It's not a small room at all.
Yeah, so the funny thing, KT, I was trying to get Lindsay's attention for like hours. Then she go live. So I go on her live. I'm like, girl, I've been trying to get your attention. And she finally look up after all that time. And we literally like right diagonal to each other. I'm like, it was good seeing Lindsay.
She's funny. She had me cracking up yesterday
and
Saturday. So me and Lindsay didn't meet until after
the front door. Hold on. Danny for DTMG is in the chat. I feel special because Danny don't have time to waste. Good morning, Danny. Danny cracks me up too. Danny is hysterical. If you ever want somebody's true opinion, call Danny. Kitty Spicy, y'all know if I'm not in the show, this jet lag is real, I'm sure. Hey, Melinda. Didn't get the chance to see Melinda this time either. Hey, Big D, our hostess with the mostest. Nicole was at the bar turned up.
Nicole always turned up. She was turned up at the USR table.
Technically, the only time I didn't drink because I had to be a USR professional is why I was actively working USR. But the moment that Phil gave us the thumbs up to go eat and drink, it was popping.
That's what they did. Listen, this girl came to that. So last year we come to Tinley, right? And we at the bar. I got hungry, so I ordered me some nachos, and I was gonna share. And they looking at me like I'm crazy for getting hungry. This time at the bar, this girl drinking, and she
I
got
was
a whole thing of
starving.
salmon. She got some. What was it? Just
I
some
didn't
tomatoes.
eat. I was like, you
Man,
right. I worked, y'all. And I mean, it didn't feel like work, but I worked. So I didn't want to eat or anything. It was so much going on, like behind the scenes. You know, you respect them. You respect what they do more because there's so much going on behind the scenes, and you need an army of people to help do that. So I was like, eating was my last thought. I remember one time telling Matt, I was like, we got to at least drink something. But then KG bought some pizza, and KG saved my life. So I was able to eat before I started drinking. So that was a good thing. But by the time I got to the bar, I was hungry. I was hungry.
I tell you what though, no matter who you is, no matter what you're doing at Tinley, once you sit down, your feet going. Whoo, it's a lot of walking. Like
that's why
by the time I sat down, I was like,
August is like walking around in socks all day. Because
I hear you.
Swell. These feet swell. I felt good. I was just fine.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, Keith, I don't know if you was in here, but I was saying one of the highlights for me is when the music changed and we looked up and MJ was over there crip walking. MJ was. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Slim was like,
after party turn up.
He asked him to play that. He said he asked him to play that. He was ready. He was on point.
The after show turn up is always lit. Always.
Woo-hoo, Melinda. All right. Yeah, Slim said, yeah, MJ's gonna put that on. He was ready for that turn up. That was a lot of fun. Always good to see MJ. Always good to see MJ. Lots and lots of walking. My feet and calves are in pain. I feel like an old man. We got our exercise.
For sure. That Charlie horse let me know I got my exercise. Man.
You got a Charlie horse? Oh, yeah. You should have.
I had one.
Too much. MJ was feeling it all weekend.
Man, he really was. But he was busy too because he was doing interviews at the Shipyard.
Yes, so, and I couldn't see none of them. He was doing interviews all day on Saturday. So that's what I'm saying. Give that man credit for what he does. Not just Tinley. Every NARBC, he's doing interview after interview after interview. Man, you're going to always get my respect. Like I said, this podcast thing, MJ took it to a different level. He took it to a different level, and we're going to respect him on that. You know, you got to respect him on that. You can't take nothing you say or try to do is going to take that away from that man. If you want to focus on it, learn from it, take something from it, and build on that, kick that up. And if you do have an issue with a friend, Dre, when we have issues, we talk. Whether we you might cuss me out or not talk to me.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you got to Nicole be up here. And I got to bring her down here. You know what I'm saying? We talked about that too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But,
so I had to tell the story of when, because Slim was going to bring up a conversation that I refused to have. So I moved out the way. And you and Dre, and Slim and Dre was going to have that. I said, no, the last time we had this type of conversation, this one right here yells at me and he didn't talk to me for like 4 days. So I'm not about to have your conversation.
No, you was talking that craziness. Man, I ain't even gonna respond.
MJ was dope as hell, had good. So Big D, I'm glad you got a chance to hang out with him and personally, see what he's like. MJ is a big heart.
The thing I like about Tinley though is everybody, whether you're a content creator, whether you are whatever you're doing, everybody has a job. And it's dope to see everybody walking around with cameras, everybody doing their thing, everybody doing interviews. Because honestly, going to Tinley is what made me comfortable YouTubing in front of people. Because there's so many people. If you want to get content, you got to do it. So walking around talking, and it's dope to see other creators, and the collabs that we do there is dope. Like you see people on your Instagram and your stories, people in the video. Like I was in people's videos. It's fun. That's my favorite part.
So KT, you recognize everybody and everybody recognize you. And in fact, more people than you think. So for content creators and YouTubers, it's your ego stroker, okay? Because I'm telling you, every year, I'm starting to think I'm somebody now. Like when you seriously, like when I'm working the USR,
Listen.
and it's always when the children get me, right? When the little 10-year-old girl go, Daddy, that's Lady T's Exotics.
Hey, I think I'm gonna show y'all my favorite picture I took over the weekend. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, Nicole's husband, he don't even breed the snakes, and he be up there like, what's poppin'? You know what I mean?
He loves it.
But we having a good time. It's a good time.
The entire time. Like literally, he sacrificed. Like even going to Big D's, he was still hurting. You know, it's tough.
I talked to him about that. He was like, man.
It's tough for him, like so he's alive. You know, I'm glad he toughed it out for me. He knows how important their trip was, and it was even a time like if I wasn't doing the USR thing, if I hadn't already committed to that, maybe I don't know, but he knows how much I look forward to it, and he was like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So he rested a lot while I was while I was working.
Yeah.
He rested and then came out, which was good. He enjoyed himself still. So
best way I can describe Tinley is, besides there being some really dope reptiles, it's a lot of partying, a lot of fun, and a lot of drinking. I mean,
wait a minute, Keys know what I'm talking about, right? I ain't gotta say, I ain't gotta like no names. We ain't got blast no names. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
We gotta do we don't have to do a whole dissertation on a person and put it on Instagram. We ain't gotta do that.
Not this time.
Never. If you hurt my soul that bad, I will promise you I will call your phone. I will call your phone, Instagram you, message you, what you call it? Instagram, DM you, whatever you call that thing, Insta chat you.
Yeah, because that day, boy, you was in my DMs yelling at me. I was like, who is she talking to? You know what I'm saying? She got the right one today. Shoot, I don't care if you is from B More. I don't care.
He said for those that know exactly. Like, come on now. Yes. Stop. Just stop. Just get on the train. Get on the train. Like, for real. Ain't nobody trying to have all of that.
But
you'll find it'd be a better time for you if you just get on the train or say nothing. Be quiet. Shut up. Tinley is nothing as walking. I'm only 60 on my foot 60 hours a week just at work plus when I work with foot. Okay. Yeah, I don't realize how much walking it is until afterwards.
Yeah, it is. It's because you're trying to see everything.
How about that coat? That shit was disrespectful. I've been saying that the whole time.
It should have been illegal, honestly. Because
it was
bad enough.
Disrespectful.
I drove through that snowstorm in Indiana. I finally pull up in Tinley and I get out of my car. That cold was like, I was like, oh my God. It was way too cold.
Keisha said she actually enjoyed seeing the snow. I'm glad it was just for one day though.
Yeah.
It wasn't the snow. It was the cold.
That was probably the most Florida-ist thing she could have said. I enjoyed seeing the snow. We don't. No.
Almost 1K on IG posted a reel this morning of behavioral conditioning with big snakes. Got to check it out. Thank you, Alice. So that's another thing we talked about. And I enjoy talking to Phil one-on-one about a lot of things. But like to get him to, understand like my position and why I go so hard for USR about the big animals. And he updated me on a lot of things as well. I'm looking forward to the setup in the USR info and the displays that he's going to send so I can use for our local shows as well. So that was a great point because y'all know I was trying to get that stuff from him. So I told him it was so cute. I said, I actually emailed you a couple times and he was like, did I answer? I said, no. I said, but I ended up getting I got Vanessa and he started laughing. So he said, I promise you I'll get it to you. You're not understanding. The man is literally, like he said, in and out of hotels the sacrifice he makes is greater than any sacrifice that we have to make, Walking in the snow to go to the bar down the corner was cold, but coming back, it was warmer.
That was the most Midwest thing I've ever seen.
I was ready to say, because the whole entire time was bone chilling cold.
Yesterday wasn't too bad. Yesterday wasn't too bad, but Saturday was horrible. Saturday was unbearably cold.
Friday too. Friday was.
Oh yeah. I didn't get there till Saturday, but yeah. Saturday was unbearably cold.
Unnecessary. Tinley sings like the Grammys for reptile keepers, breeders, and content. There you go. Facts.
Basically,
and walking in is like the red carpet.
It literally is. It is. I'm not gonna lie. I was sad this year because I didn't go VIP, so I had to stand in that long ass line. Never again.
Oh, that's right. Why didn't you go? You can't because you can't go VIP.
Because I did. No, you can't. No, because for the whole weekend, I was like, I don't want to pay for the whole weekend. I'm not gonna be here the whole weekend to enjoy it.
Right.
But I mean, the line went quick though, so I wasn't tripping. Plus, it was like
that line was a beast though for all day. What was the day?
That's because they had 3 registers.
Saturday?
Yeah, you was that. Yeah. Hey, she was killing it though.
That whole day that it was like that, I was like, dang, like
Nicole was killing it. But look, I'm happy because like as many times me and Nicole been to Tinley, this is the first time she was excited to see me, y'all. She was like, "Dre, you made it." I was like,
because I was
warmed my heart.
Because I really thought this time I really thought you wasn't like I thought you was dead on. I'm not coming. I'm not going to make it. So when you made the message, I'm like, wait a minute, it sounds like he's saying he coming.
Yeah,
and that's why I asked.
I'm glad I did. I'm definitely glad I did. It was definitely each Tinley I go to, it gets better and better. Like I said this last time. I have not had a bad Tinley experience. And October, I can't wait. I might for the first time. As many times I've been to Tinley, I've never bought anything. I might actually buy something this time, but we'll see.
I almost bought a snake, so it was. I almost, but I don't.
She was listen. She was good, y'all. I'm proud of her because she was like, "Nope, I got these eggs. I can't." I was like, "Look at you." It's like it's like
$3,000 on the auction, but I didn't buy a snake.
It's like I watched her grow up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm so proud. It was crazy. It was good.
Oh, and the knives. That was it. I think that was it. I mean, like again, because a lot of the stuff that I wanted, like with Justin Pike bought, when he came in and he bought all their daggone logs and stuff. That's what I wanted. I wanted stuff that I can put in the van.
When I saw Nicole win that PS5, I was like, she would be the one.
But the thing was, it was easier than shopping for it here. I paid $800 for it.
I'm honestly shocked that it didn't go for higher.
Look, so Slim had a good point. Same thing for Kevin's book. It was the timing.
Mm-hmm.
If they had did either one of them earlier, we probably would have ended up paying way more.
If it was the first product.
Yeah. I don't think people heard because even the girl behind me said, "But when did you get that?" I said, "Just a few minutes ago." He said, "I didn't hear them do a PS5." I said, "I was on." I'm looking at Phil like.
Man, yeah.
Let's hurry up, rev it up.
So the funny part is when he was bidding with his mom, yo, I was in tears when his mom was bidding on that book.
Oh my goodness! Wait a minute. She's talking into the penis, right? She's like, "Woman, what are you doing?" And she's just talking.
Yo, when she said, "It doesn't matter, you're paying for it."
Right? Exactly.
Yo, that was funny.
Wait a minute, Derek, this was hysterical. Wait a minute, if there's anybody who really don't need to buy snakes, but I wasn't trying to buy these things, but ended up with 12 new ones.
What? Jeez.
We sitting at the bar, Derek pulling all of this stuff out of his bag. I think it wasn't just snakes. I think he had geckos or something else. Canadian through and through. I think 12 months of green is going to make me a little crazy. Oh, I didn't want to buy. The deals and snakes was crazy. Yeah, the deals was really, really good. I can't lie.
Especially on Sundays. There was I think it was Royal Constrictor Designs. They have like a pricing like deal that starts around 2 p.m. on Sundays. They be trying to take it.
That is insane. All right, so let me make sure. Let's wrap it up. Any of them, what other highlights? Anybody in the chat, give me your highlight. If you want to share your highlights. I think for me, the wrap up, for me is just this. It's kind of like what Pat said, but in a different way. Make it a priority, especially if you're planning to go deeper in breeding. Like shout out to Sammy from Bull. pythons. I really respect the fact that he's not, a top breeder now, but he is investing in the travel to be at all of these shows and to really, really put his name out there. He gave a really, really good donation to USR. So shout out to Sammy from Bull Pythons. And he was so kind to bring me back he brought me back a hoodie because he had donated some, and then was like, I just want you to have a hoodie. Brought me back a hoodie, so I will definitely rock that, Sammy. I get it, but I enjoy not getting stuck in traffic because of snow or digging my car out. Yeah, I can do without snow, and I'm a Maryland girl. Kelly Turn Up was mine, and talking with MJ and getting to spend 5 days with the Keys family. Awesome, Big D. Yeah, it's all. So for me, that's always going to be a highlight for me is going to Dirk's house. And I swear, y'all, when I woke up and I thought I missed it, I thought I was going to cry. It was like we were sleeping so good, I felt like it was the next day.
That questionable sleep, you getting so much. You
we gotta quick. We was like, we gotta go. We got over there quick. Definitely, always. I love seeing my friends who have become family and Dirk and Joy amazing hosts. I definitely agree. I think also I love the fact that Will and Audra came to Big D's house. You can see that they both had a really, really good time. The pictures I posted of Will on that reel, y'all, is hysterical. You can see the level of intensity of fun that he had. Oh my God, my shocker. Two of my shockers. So I remember Ray said he thought I would be taller. Based on seeing me on here. So somebody told me I was short. Ray was like, oh my gosh, she's short. I thought she would be taller. I got to, and I've seen them before, but I never got a chance to really stand side by side with Courtney from Leviathan. And Courtney is shorter than me, y'all. I was like, oh my God, I'm taller than somebody. But Sloan is shorter than Dre.
Is that who that was?
Slow
came up to me and said,
I was not expecting that.
Hey, it was a couple people. Sure, I felt tall. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, shoot, all right. You know what I'm saying? But it was a good time. It was a good time.
Definitely Melendez, always a good time at Derek's house.
Yeah, that's facts, KT. Depends on what type of extracurricular activities you got going on.
We always have a great time. So yeah, guys. So that's pretty much our Tinley recap. So much more. Matt that I worked with US Arc was amazing. He was absolutely hysterical. And for the vendors who vend, please don't tell Matt that you don't have nothing for US Arc because Matt will make you figure it out. He will give you a look that will make you want to figure it out. So that was amazing. But overall, of course, just being with the family, being with the suspects, being able to do all of our shirt and t-shirt swapping, and some people frown upon that Tinley has become a place where people get together. That's a great thing,
Yeah, I don't understand why that would be a bad thing.
Right, I don't understand why that's a problem. It's supposed to be that. I mean, even when you think about back in the day, whenever I hear the vets talk about when they used to get together, they had great times. They even left together and had went to the strip clubs together and stuff like that. So it was always a party. Don't make it seem like the new generation is turning it into something else. It's a whole lot of enjoying the vendors, a whole lot of animal buying, a whole lot of just viewing amazing animals. But when there's time to party, we party and we do well.
And to KT's comment and to everybody else who has kids, the auction is not for kids. But if you bring a kid, that's on you. There's just a lot of
I guess for me, it depends on how you raise your children. Right?
I only say that because,
I don't think it's for children either, but some people raise their children where
Yeah. Because there's kids in there, but it's just when we go live, at least for me, when I go live or post little clips, people get upset why are there kids in there? Well, number one, they're not your kids. Number two, if you don't like it, then don't come or don't bring your kid. It's really not that hard. But there's a lot of vulgar language that's used, and they tell you that prior to the show. They will let you know. So, but KT, since you never been, I just figured I'd throw that out there for you.
He does. Keys. I had him cracking up. And this fool right here, I tell you, my husband loved himself some Pat. Pat coming in was everything. Pat, you did say bye. I said bye. I thought I said bye to you.
Yeah. Matter of fact.
Oh, maybe he's talking about bye on Sunday. So, Pat, we normally would stay until Monday, but we came early because I was afraid that the ball pythons were lay and I wasn't going to be here.
Keys is heated. Yo, Keys is on one.
What Keys say? I didn't get to say bye to Nicole. That's where I I told you the night before, though, I was going to come early so we can head to the airport. But yeah, Keys, I wish they just came out and say, hey, most likely your flight is going to be delayed. And we would have just stayed a little later. We called ourselves trying to get to the airport on time. Pat, I want the party footage. Pass down Pat. Pat was funny. Turn up. You heard Pat before he came in. And then when he said, where's Wiz? Walked right past me. Looked right at him, walked right past him.
Man, it was a good time. It was a real good time.
Yes, Pat. He always, Pat, he loves himself so bad. Pat is hysterical, though. I swear. Always a great time. I just wish, like, honestly, that part of it, I wish we could do it more than once a year. That whole, the Tinley turn-up part. I think that is just the highlight as well for me. I was a bit a bit, just a tad bit. You just a tad bit, Pat. It could have been worse, Pat. We all were, Pat. Ain't nothing wrong.
I think everybody was at one point.
Yeah,
I know I was on Saturday night.
Just a bit, Keys, just a bit. Spicy said, I need the same energy in October.
October is way better.
Definitely, always the same energy. Always. All right, guys. So we're going to let you guys get back to your Monday. Enjoy your day at work if you're at work. Keys, what time y'all fly out? If you're coming from Tinley or you're traveling back from Tinley, have a safe flight.
Yeah, be safe. Be safe.
Oh, that was another highlight. So if y'all go over to NARBC's Facebook page, you'll hear a lot of talk. So it's a long post about a girl who bought a gecko from somebody, and the gecko died 30 minutes later. If you left out of Tinley with an animal in a deli cup or in a bag and did not find a way to heat that animal from the door to the car, and I'm being serious, from the door to the car, you could have very easily had a dead animal. And that's why with US ARC Field allow us to take a lot of the animals to the other room early, because even where we were, there was this draft coming in. So to protect the animals, we knew it was best to get them in the other room. So just keep in mind, guys, when you're going to these shows, especially in cold temperatures, a deli cup or a bag it's not going to secure. And certain animals can't even take that little brief. Smaller animals can't take that brief, intense cold. It sends them into hypothermia. And if you do nothing to get them back right away, they're going to pass away. So the post said that the person wished that, because whoever the vendor was willing to give them another gecko the next day, because it was after hours and they couldn't. The vendors cannot go back into the venue. No one can go back into that room once security closes, locks off their door. Security is there to watch those animals 24/7. People got $30,000 snakes in there. So the person did not understand why they was not allowed to go back in with a vendor to get a new gecko. And she couldn't stay until the next day because they came out of town. But the vendor could also ship her one. But anyway, just a FYI for anybody who sees that, just remind people that no, we don't want vendors people to be able to go in, including vendors, going in to the show. That's how, if I'm a vendor, I feel good that my animals are protected to that level that you're not even letting Babu go back in there. You know what I'm saying? Babu can't get back in there. And that's how it's supposed to be. So people should just understand that. But whenever you're buying animals at any show and it's cold outside, you have to pre-plan how you're going to transport that animal. Even if it's, I'm going to wear a double jacket or whatever, put the animal on my chest. I mean, I don't know. It might not have been a Tinley. Was it? It may have been one of the Tinleys. I literally went to dinner and I had the snake on my chest the entire time. It might have been the one that we was yeah. The one that you went to, Dre. So I put the snake here. It was the retic, the baby retic, and it stayed the dwarf right here the entire time. No need to take it out or anything. That's keep it warm, and you have to be conscious of that because an animal in that intense cold, I barely survived that cold. I thought I was going to die. So I know an animal would. It was insane. Nothing. That Chicago cold was different. This is important because if it's cold for us, it can be deadly for certain animals. Absolutely. And imagine how cold it was for us. That's my point, Keisha. Like, it was devastatingly cold for us. It really was great seeing y'all. 6 months till October, Tinley. Whoop, whoop. Turn up. All right, guys. So that's it for our show today. Y'all have an amazing day. Keys, y'all have a safe flight back. Anybody else traveling back, have a safe flight back. Enjoy you all. Thank you all.
Have a good week
on Mondays, because I want to say that since we started this, the Monday morning show, the analytics increased week over week, and I appreciate that. That you guys are waking up early enough to hear me and Dre talk, and sometimes it's on topics that are not necessarily 100% only reptile related, but definitely going to always benefit us in the reptile community. Can't wait either. All right. Love you all. And we see you later. Peace.